But when they first open the doors and you see Han, again, it looked a little on the bright side compared to the Criterion. Hello. Welcome back. And as always, I hope you're doing well. Right. Today, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the Enter the Dragon 50th anniversary 4K Ultra HD. This is not a critique of the film. As you all know, I love the movie and I'm going to see it at the cinema next Tuesday. So it's not a critique of the movie. I love the movie. But it's just the release. Now, the first thing I'm going to pick on, why is it in such a small case? I know this might be the way of the future, you know, to save stuff, but it's a little bit flimsy, if anything. It's kind of tiny. Not even a pamphlet in there. It's just a little bit flimsy. And I didn't really notice, to be honest with you, when I came back and done the unboxing. I did think it was something different about it, but I didn't quite figure it out. But it's in a little case. You remember the Enter the Dragon when it first came out in that big box? I mean, it's supposed to be the 50th anniversary. And by the way, on the slipcover, it only mentions the 100 years of Warner Brothers. I can't find anywhere on here where it says the 50th anniversary of Enter the Dragon. That might be me just whinging though. But the picture quality looked brilliant when I first put it on. It seems, to my eyes, get better as the movie progresses. I've done a comparison, by the way, with the Criterion edition of Enter the Dragon, which I know is only in 2K. So I did do a back-to-back. Now I have to be a little bit careful about showing clips because of copyright, even though I'm doing a critique and it should come under fair use, but Warner Brothers just jump all over it. But the opening harbour scene, you know, the credit scene at the beginning where it says Bruce Lee, John Saxon, Enter the Dragon, they've definitely reduced the grain. There was a lot of grain in the Criterion, but it seems like it might be on the tad bright side to my eyes. The logos look great. You know, the reds didn't really look any different. But they've definitely reduced the grain, but it seemed a little bit on the bright side to me. Also, when you first see Han, you know, at the banquet, and it did look beautiful. Colour-wise, the colours were really, really popping on my TV. But when they first open the doors and you see Han, again, it looked a little on the bright side compared to the Criterion. But as the film progressed and got on, it seemed to improve for some reason. I think the underground cavern fight, which is my favourite Bruce Lee fight scene, probably of all time, you know, I know he's done the Chuck Norris fight and the Kareem Abdul fight and all that, but I just think that fight was just the best for me. That actually did look better, I believe, on this release. It seemed to be a little bit more blue. You could definitely see Bruce Lee was wearing a blue outfit as opposed to the black, and there was beads of sweat bouncing off of him and one thing and another. That scene was definitely improved. And I also think the mirror scene at the end when he's fighting Han in the mirrors, he seemed to have like a warmer feel to it compared to the Criterion that had a kind of like a colder feel. This seemed to be a little bit warmer. So I've got like mixed feelings on this. Some scenes to me look better on the Criterion, maybe, apart from obviously the film grain, which is always going to be there. I mean, compared to the release of Fist of Fury that I have watched and I will be reviewing in the next couple of weeks, like I said, the wedding, Fist of Fury looked like it could have been made a few weeks ago. It looked that fantastic. And it does make me wonder. It does make me wonder how much work does go into these things. Now, picture-wise, like I said, I'd give it about... Some scenes I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Other scenes, not so much. There was no Dolby Vision on this. It was just HDR10, I do believe it is. But on the whole, it weren't a bad transfer. It was pretty good. But I was a little bit underwhelmed, to be honest with you. I was expecting, I don't know, I suppose where I've been watching the Arrow releasing and seeing how wonderful they look, I was kind of expecting a little bit more from it. Now, having said that, the sound was fantastic. Now, I've only watched the Atmos track at the moment. I haven't watched the mono track, but the Atmos sounded amazing. Now, I've only got a soundbar, but my telly does do Dolby Atmos, and the bass, wow. it was bassy, but not boomy, if you get what I mean. The bass sounded solid and tight. The Atmos sound on this was terrific. I really enjoyed that. So I'd say the sound improvement on the Dolby Atmos was amazing. Like I said, I've yet to watch it with the mono track. But what I didn't want to do is sort of like over Enter the Dragon myself until I've seen it at the cinema. You understand. Now, another thing that I couldn't quite figure out, and maybe you might be able to help me out with this. On the front there, it says 18 certificate. But if you open up the Blu-ray disc, which is, it totally is the 40th anniversary. There's nothing new, but it has got the Curse of the Dragon. All the same stuff. But if you notice, the 4K is a 15. James Furman will be turning in his grave. And the Blu-ray is 18. Now, Dave Bruce Lee, I'll link his channel down below, Dave, he spotted that on the arrow of the Big Boss. The Big Boss, disc 1, is an 18, where the Mandarin cut, 10 minutes longer, nothing cut out of it, is a 15. So, do any of you understand what that's all about? Because the more I think about it, the more my mind just goes brrr, like they don't have a clue down at the censor place. I don't think it should be, you know, an 18's fine. An 18's fine. But, yeah, go figure. 15 on the 4K, 18 on the Blu-ray. I did have a little look at the Blu-ray, and like I said, it is exactly the same as the 40th anniversary edition. Also, Warner Brothers, a couple of months ago, put out a brilliant little trailer for Enter the Dragon. I couldn't find it on here at all. All the trailers were the same old trailers that was on all the others. Surely they could have stuck it on here. It was a cool little trailer and really did get me quite excited. It's not on here. I know it's only a trailer, you can watch it on YouTube, but come on, couldn't you just squeeze it on somewhere? It's a bloody little trailer. Also, it was advertised that Linda Lee was doing an intro. Basically, it was an excerpt taken out of the Linda Lee gallery, stuff that we have seen loads of times. So, nothing new on that. Now, I have got a little bit fond of the packaging now. I am really enjoying this artwork. But I do believe they could have done a little bit more. I really, really do. Now, obviously, it's got both cuts on here. It's got the special edition and it's got the theatrical cut. But that's only on the 4K disc. The Blu-ray disc has just got the special edition. There's no theatrical cut on there. So I don't know what that was all about. Maybe the disc size, I don't know. But so if you want the theatrical cut and you don't own the Criterion set, it's worth getting just for that. Don't get me wrong, I do like seeing more Bruce Lee. We always do. But to me, the theatrical cut is the way forward. To do with pacing and stuff like that. Plus, not to mention John Little's voice. They haven't quite sorted that out yet. But that they may have put Bruce Lee's voice, the bits that they've got, back in the mono track. But I haven't checked it out yet, to be honest with you. Like I said, I don't want to overdo Enter the Dragon at the moment because I'm going to see it at the cinema and I want to be a little bit excited about it. But I'm going to go through this disc. There's no point in me going through disc 2 because I've watched it time and time again. But I'm a little bit underwhelmed, if you want the honest truth. I know a lot of people on YouTube are singing its praises and saying how wonderful it is. And it does look good. In certain places, it looks amazing. Like I said, the opening sequence, the grain has been turned quite down. But it just looks a little bit on the bright side, to my eyes. So, what do you think of this release? Do you think they could have done more? Would you like to have seen a bit of Dolby Vision on there? And also, before I sign off with this video, because it's only going to be a short one, guys, because I've got some stuff to do this afternoon, the banquet sequence, has that been cut? I did see in one of the comments, there was something floating around in one of them fish tanks in the original cut. Now, I need to go back and have a look, but I don't have the old VHS anymore. Has that been cut? Is this the full uncut version? Or is it my just imagination? And I read the comment and I thought, oh yeah, I vaguely do remember seeing, was it eyeballs or something like that? But it's been a while since I've seen the VHS release. But anyway, yeah, so that's my thoughts on the 100-year Warner Brothers Enter the Dragon release. I don't honestly think this is the 50th anniversary that we was all hoping it was going to be. It doesn't even mention it on here, which I find a little bit shit, if you want my honest opinion. But it's a lovely release. Like I said, I've gotten a little bit fond of the cover now. Quite like the artwork on it. Could have done more. Could have done a little bit of something special with this. I do believe they missed a golden opportunity and just screwed us Bruce fans again. But knowing Warner Brothers, they've done that on purpose. Because let's be honest, they don't care about the film. They certainly don't care about us fans. So maybe they've done this, done the steelbook, done the stuff, you know, with the same old extras that we've all seen, and all the cards and all that we've all had. And then later on down the line, they may do something special. They may. How many times has the Dragon been brought out on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray? This is the very first 4K Ultra HD version of Enter the Dragon. So it wouldn't surprise me if someone at Warner Brothers going, well, we'll release this first, and then we'll do the definitive, I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me. And they might go into their archives and dig up the Henry Wong footage. We can all dream, I guess, can't we? And put out something really special. But I wouldn't hold my breath where they're concerned. They literally only care about making money. And it's a little bit disrespectful, because this is the film that literally made Bruce. You know, everyone knows him on the back of that. Started the whole Kung Fu genre. 1973. Classic movie. But yeah, I'm a little bit underwhelmed. Sure, I'm glad I've got it. I'm so glad I didn't buy the £50, £60 box set, because I've got all the extras and all the lenticular and one thing and another. Yeah, so we'll wait and see. Like I said, I'm glad I got it. So yeah, they're my thoughts. Do you disagree with me? Do you think this is the best version of Enter the Dragon? I mean, it is pretty good. Like I said, the underground cavern and the fight with Han at the end in the mirrors is as good as I've ever seen it. All honesty, it just looked a little bit warmer, a little bit more detail. And like I said, in the underground cavern fight, you could see clearly he was wearing a blue suit, which sometimes got lost on previous versions of Enter the Dragon. Anyway, with that, guys, I'm going to bid you farewell. I've had my little whinge at Warner Brothers. Tossers. Right? But I am glad I've got it. I really am glad I've got it. And I did thoroughly enjoy watching Enter the Dragon again. Right. If you like this sort of thing, guys, maybe give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It don't cost anything, and it really does help me out. And with that, I'm going to bid you farewell. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and I'll be back with another ramble real soon. You take care, people.